Good morning, HHS. Today is Monday, April 15th. Coming up on today's show, we have Tiny Tots, community service, and world news. Attention writers, Imprint, the literary magazine, is seeking submissions for the spring edition. Genres include short stories, essays, poetry, creative nonfiction, interviews, critical reviews, plays, editorials, and/or musical compositions. Pick up submission guidelines in room 435. Submissions are due by Thursday, April 18th.
On Thursday, the varsity baseball team defeated Spotswood 7-4. Sophomore Aiden Perkins picked up his first career varsity win as a pitcher. Also, the varsity boys soccer team defeated Spotswood 2-1. Junior Lucio Bianchi scored both goals for Harrisonburg.
Every school year, Symphonic Band and Percussion 2 plays music and shows different types of instruments to preschools through elementary kids. Khalito Amaya was at the concert and has the story.
At HHS, in which the Symphonic Band plays cartoon music, Disney music, and some Star Wars music for elementary schoolers that come around this time. We reached out to Daniel Upton, who gave his word on what it's all about.
Tiny Tots is an initiative that we do here in Harrisonburg City Schools to reach elementary age students, to give them an education about music, both about instruments, different dynamics and things like that. We reach about 3,000 elementary age students from Harrisonburg and Rockingham over 3 days. So we try to play music that the students will recognize, but also that we can relate to the different concepts that we are trying to teach them over this experience, as well as giving them experience like they're at Disney World. So we do a Disney-themed opening. We do Lion King, Aladdin, Frozen, Moana, Incredibles, Sesame Street, SpongeBob, and Beauty and the Beast.
At the end of the day, the Tiny Tots Initiative is a well-put-together event that the Symphonic Band and the Fine Arts Academy have put together in order to make the children smile and be happy.
Tell me, princess, how ended you last lecture about his love?
It'll be totally strange. Brown eyes are ready for this change. For the first time in forever.
No saxophone. Jack.
Here's Ms. Delosier has some announcements about blood drive and SCA.
Hi, I'm Ms. Delosier. I'm the sponsor for SCA and the class representatives. We are looking for people for next year to be leaders in the school community. So if you are interested in being part of the Student Collaborative Association or a class representative, you can pick up applications in my room 448. If you don't feel like donating your voice and want to do a one-time thing, we'll take your blood too. SCA is hosting our annual blood drive on April 23rd, which is next Tuesday. You must be 16 years old to donate, and you can also sign up in my room.
Recently, the First Amendment rights of student media distribution was voted against. Philip has the story.
In January, the House of Delegates voted against the New Voices Act, which prohibits our complete freedom of the press.
If we were in Virginia to pass a New Voices Act like 14 other states have, it would allow students to not be scared of censorship, but at the same time it still legally provides them the opportunity to publish things that have been vetted by teachers, by advisors. It would prohibit an administrator from simply censoring a story because they didn't like a story. It would keep them, like if you wanted to run a story about something you didn't like about your school, even though it was true, it would keep the principal from being able to do that. It also protects advisors from being fired when their students do publish things like that. Right now, the way the law stands, students can be censored in Virginia, and that's probably not the best thing because that's not the First Amendment right that they have provided by the Constitution. But if the New Voices law were to pass, then we would have a better opportunity to practice exactly like professionals do. And that's, even though this is a learning laboratory, I think it's important that we realize what our rights are.
Samantha Little is an editor-in-chief for Newsstreak, and Naya wrote a risky story.
It really allows us to have the freedom to just write the stories and talk about things that, like, without it we might not be able to talk about. So that just really keeps the student body informed, and not just the student body, also teachers, all the parents, and just community members that get our stuff.
Freedom of the press, it affects me because I'm part of the newspaper here at Harrisburg High School. I'm one of the editors-in-chiefs, so a lot of the stuff we do deals with freedom of the press, whether it's like posting to social media or writing a story. And one of the reasons I really relate to it recently is because I wrote a story on the child pornography Snapchats going around my school, and there was just like a whole dilemma with it, with HHS media, and because of freedom of the press or because of the First Amendment, I was able to write that story. And it's not even just that story, it's everyday stuff.
I think we would just have a lot more limitations on what we'd be able to talk about, and what we'd be able to do with that information. So I think that without it, we just have a lot more maybe censorship or things that might be a little bit difficult when it comes to writing stories and keeping people informed.
2, 1.
This week starts Streaks of the Berg and Beyond. Talk with your advisory to see how you can help around your community. Jeffrey has a promo on it.
Now we have some world news from Ryan Caricofe.
Good morning, Harrisburg High School. My name is Ryan Caricofe, and I'm here to bring you some of the top headlines coming from around the world. So, in the world of college sports, Virginia has beaten Texas Tech in March Madness to be the champions for this year's March Madness. In Hong Kong, 9 members of the pro-democracy group that were arrested in 2014 for advocating democracy in Hong Kong have been convicted on various charges, including public nuisance and other such charges. As the release of the Mueller report comes closer and closer, Donald Trump has taken up more attacks attacking Mueller himself, making it seem more and more political, more like a political witch hunt that he's always claimed it to be. In Iran, members of the Iranian government convened this recently while chanting, "Death to America, death to America." This comes after the United States has declared that the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, one of the main military forces in Iran, is actually a terrorist organization. In Cincinnati, a 23-year-old man faces a magistrate as he goes to hear charges that he claims to be a missing child. He was not the missing child, and he will be charged. That's all the headlines we have for you right now. Again, I've been Ryan Caricofe, and I'll see you all soon.
For lunch today, we have cheese quesadilla and cheese pizza. Make sure to follow WSBC online on Instagram for more news and announcements. Also, check out our new sports show on the Blue Shirts Broadcasting YouTube channel. That's all we have for you today, Blue Shirts. I'm Jeffrey Robinson.
And I'm Tyrus McDaniel. Stay classy, HHS.